The Indian economy has witnessed profound transformation in last 10 years, and the people of India is also looking for the future with great optimism and hope. Hello friends, welcome to the special episode of budget series of Drishti IAS. My name is Ritu and today's session is about budget 2024. Before going to the points of discussion, first of all you should know that this is an interim budget. And why this is an interim budget? Because this is an election year, and after the conclusion of election we'll have a final budget, but till now we have interim budget. So moving towards the points of discussion part. First of all, we are going to discuss the theme of this particular budget, and then we are going to discuss the achievement of the government so far, and then we are also going to discuss the strategy of the government, what they had designed for the upcoming year, and also the practice question for prelims. So moving towards the theme part. Before discussing the theme, first of all you should know that this time government has focused on 4 categories. The first category is Garib, the second category is Mahilaएं, third category is Yuva, and the fourth category is Annadata. So these 4 categories government has focused, and according to the government of India, if these 4 categories are satisfied and they are in a progressive condition, then country is in the progressive condition. So moving towards the theme, what is the theme of today's budget 2024? So we have this Viksit Bharat by 2047, and the vision of this budget is prosperous Bharat in harmony with nature, modern infrastructure and opportunity for all. And earlier we have that Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas and Sabka Vishwas. Right now one more theme has been added, which is Sabka Prayas. So one new approach has been added to this particular vision. So from Sabka Saath to Sabka Vikas, now it has become Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, Sabka Vishwas, and for the future Sabka Prayas. And by all these approach we are going to achieve developed India by 2047. So right now India has categorized itself in the developing countries, but we will be the developed India by 2047. So this is the vision and theme of the budget 2024. Moving towards to the another slide. Another slide is about that what is the achievement of government so far and on which area they had worked and they are going to work. So people-centric inclusive development, substantive development of all forms of infrastructure, physical, digital and social, digital public infrastructure, promoted formalization and financial inclusion, deepening and widening of tax base via GST, strengthen financial sector, brought savings, credit, investment back on track. So what all these themes are saying, that government is not looking just the physical infrastructure, they are also looking for the digital, social, and they are also looking for the tax scenario of the country. Moving to the next slide. Next slide is about Garib Kalyan and Desh Ka Kalyan. So these are the focus areas which government had worked, and these are the achievement of government of India. So direct benefit transfer has led to the savings of 2.7 lakh crore. And 25 crore people moved out of the multi-dimensional poverty. So recently we have also seen the Niti Aayog multi-dimensional poverty index, and we can see the ratio and ranking of different states. So what all these ranking helps? So these all ranking helps that which state is poor, and government will work onto that particular state. So because of all these ranking and indexes, we can see that improvement in multi-dimensional poverty indexes, and government is focusing on the concerned areas. Credit assistance to 78 lakh vendors under PM Swanidhi. So PM Swanidhi is dedicated to the street vendors, in which they will be provided loan on the installment basis, and the payment of repayment is also available onto this. So moving towards this graph area, so there is a decline in head count ratio, percentage of population who are multidimensionally poor. So we can see that in 2005 and 6 they were 55.3. Right now it is 11.3. So in last 15 to 16 years we can see that almost 1/4 we have reduced to the multi-dimensional poverty, and when it comes to the 2 years back it was 15, and right now we are 11.3, and when it comes to the 5 to 6 year back, so it was 24.9. So in last 5 to 6 year we have achieved like half of the multi-dimensional poverty. So this is a very achievement for India. Moving to the next slide. Next slide is about empowering the youth. As I had already discussed in the introduction that government is going to focus on yuva, which is youth. So 1 crore youth trained under Skill India missions, and fostering entrepreneurial aspiration of youth, 43 crore loans sanctioned under PM Mudra Yojana. So PM Mudra Yojana is dedicated to non-corporate and non-farm sector, under which different category of loans are given, Shishu, Tarun, and there is a variety of loans, like you can take loans of 50,000 to 5 lakhs and 5 lakhs to 10 lakhs. So this is under the PM Mudra Yojana, and non-corporate and non-farm sector are envisaged here. And here is the increase in PM Shri budget allocation. So what is this PM Shri? So PM Shri is dedicated to the existing schools and government schools. So all these schools will be made to the model schools, and it is dedicated for the development of existing government schools. So we can see the budget. So earlier we have 4,000 crore and right now we have 6,050 crore. So we can see the increase in the PM Shri budget allocation. Moving to the what is the condition of IITs, AIIMS and universities we have. So in 2014 we have 16 IITs and in 2023 we have 23 IITs. So in IIT sector we have not improved much, but coming to the AIIMS, yes, we have improved much into the AIIMS direction. So in 2014 we have only 7 AIIMS, but right now we have 22 AIIMS. Coming to the universities, so here also significant changes can be brought to the university. So in 2014 we have 723 and in 2023 we have 1113. So what all these data shows that? So all these data shows that we are improving in a positive direction. But when it comes to the education sector, these numbers are not satisfying according to the population of India. So the government of India had to work a lot into this education sector. Moving to the next one, which is welfare of farmers, Annadata. So each slide is dedicated to the focus areas, and here we are discussing about the farmers, which is Annadata. So direct financial assistance to 11.8 crore farmers under PM Kisan. So PM Kisan is a facility where 6,000 will be given to the farmers on the installment basis of 3 times. So this is PM Kisan. Crop insurance to 4 crore farmers under PM Fasal Bima Yojana. So we often see that so many crops are damaged because of the natural condition, because of unavoidable circumstances, under which government of India had also thought about that farmers, and they are providing crop insurance to 4 crore farmers. Integration of 1,361 mandis under e-NAM, supporting trading volume of rupees 3 lakh crore. So what we can see that mandis are also going to be digital, and they have become digital. So this is also achievement to this direction. Then increasing procurement of wheat and rice. So what we can see that here, this is data from the lakh metric tons. So here we will calculate into the lakh metric tons. So from 2022 to 2023, 2023 to 2024, it has increased from 28 lakh metric ton to 38 lakh metric ton, which is a very good sign. Then coming to the wheat sector, so what we have seen that in 2020, 22 and 2023 it was 188 lakh metric ton, but in 2023 and 4 it is 262 lakh metric ton. And wheat and rice are staple food of India, and we also export wheat and rice qualities and materials to the other countries. So this is not a positive sign for the country, but also for the world economy, because India produces a lot rice and wheat. So moving to the next direction, which is Nari Shakti, as this slide is dedicated to the women, Mahilaएं, and 30 crore Mudra Yojana loans dispersed to the women entrepreneurs. So as I had discussed that Mudra Yojana is dedicated to non-farm and non-corporate sectors. Among them 30 crore Mudra Yojana loans dispersed to the women. So women are also taking interest and also empowering themselves through entrepreneurship. Then increased female enrollment in higher education by 28% in 10 years. So recently we had discussed the ICE report, and what that ICE report had said that enrollment of females in higher education has increased. So this is a positive sign among the female literacy. And then 43% of female enrollment in STEM courses. So STEM, which is science, technology, engineering, mathematics area, is highly sexually deprived area, in which we can see that there is gender disparity, and still there is a gender disparity. But what we can see that 43% of female enrollment. It means that we are going to achieve gender parity soon. And then 1 crore women assisted by 83 lakh SHG to become Lakhpati's Didi. So self-help groups are another important tool for the financial inclusion and financial awareness in our country. So 1 crore women assisted to become Lakhpatis. So this is the achievement regarding this. And then rise in female labor force participation rate. So in 2017-18, it is 23.3, and right now it is 37. So it is more than 10% in last 4 or 5 years. So which is very good and positive trend for the women empowerment and women's financial inclusion. Moving to the another slide. Another slide is about strategy for the Amrit Kal. So what other previous slides had taught. So it is talking about the what government has achieved so far. But on this onwards, we are going to discuss that what government is going to do and what is the strategy of the government here. So first we will look for the sector of the sustainable development, because today's area is a demand of the sustainable development, and without sustainable development we cannot achieve the effective progress and effective development. So here the government has committed, you already know that government has made this commitment of net zero emission by 2070 in Glasgow summit, and there they are going to focus on few areas just like wind energy, CNG, PNG, and also the biomass aggregation machinery, rooftop solarization. 1 crore household will be enabled to obtain up to 300 units of free electricity per month. And in these 300 units, one person cannot pay to the particular electricity bill, which can improve their standard of living. And also the adoption of e-buses for public transport network. As you all know that petrol and diesel buses are very harmful for the environment and also for the economy. So here we have the introduction of the e-buses for the public transport and also the e-vehicle ecosystem. So we do have a e-vehicle ecosystem, but that's not on an expanded version, but government of India is trying to work onto this. And then new scheme for biomanufacturing and biofoundry, because these things are the need of the hour to prevent the environment. Then coming to this particular graph, percent increase in non-fossil fuel installed electricity capacity. So in 2004 we have 30.4% only, and in 2014 from 30.4 it has become only 32.3. But what we have seen that in last 8 or 9 years we have achieved 43.9. So we have increased by 10% in last 8 or 9 years, but in last 10 years we have here increased only 2%. So this is also a very rapid development into the non-fossil fuel installed electricity capacity. And then we have less than 10 crore LPG connection released under Pradhan Mantri Ujjwala Yojana, 36 crore LED bulbs, 72.2 lakhs LED tube lights, and 23.6 lakhs energy efficient fans distributed under Ujala, and 1.3 crore LED street light installed under street national light program. So this is the government vision and this is the government outline that they are going to disperse this kind of amount so that there will be the facility of electricity, and they are more focusing on the electricity things so that we don't have to be dependent on the fossil fuels, the conservative method, and they are also discussing on the sustainable development. Moving to the next one. Next one is about increase in capital expenditure, doubling of FDI inflow. So capital expenditure is not temporary in nature. It means that we are spending on the capitals and that are going to be the long lasting. So here we can see that there is an increase in capital expenditure, and in financial year 25 what we have seen that there is an increase from like what percentage. So it is like rupees, here we are talking about the rupees. So here there is a more than 9 lakhs, and when it comes to the percentage, so it is more than 3.5%. Then here we'll have a doubling of FDI, which is foreign direct inflows, and in 2005 to 2014, so in these 9 years what we have seen that 298 USD billion, dollar billion. And in 2014 to 23, in these 9 years, what we have seen that 596. So almost doubled we can see into this direction. Then improvement in physical infrastructure we can also see when it comes to the national highways. So the length of the national highways has been also increased in last 7 years. And then cargo traffic also increased from 581.3 to 720. Then electrified rail route had also increased. Aircraft movement had also increased from 16 to 25, and number of airports have increased very significantly. Like in financial year 15 we have only 74 airports, but right now we have 149 airports. So government is working on the infrastructure also. Moving to the next one, which is inclusive development. So when we were discussing about the economic primer series, and in that economy primer series we have expanded our vision on the inclusive development, that if India has to achieve the $5 trillion economy, they have to work a lot on the inclusive development. So here we will see that what they had worked for the inclusive development and what is their vision for the inclusive development. So aspirational district program to assist states in faster development, including employment generation. And then here we will first discuss about the women's empowerment and women's health condition. And then here it comes that percentage of women registered for the antenatal care within first trimester. So in 2018 it was only 68%, and in October 2023 data it is 89%. It means that 11% women are still left. So this we are also going to achieve soon. Then when it comes to the Pradhan Mantri Jeevan Jyoti Bima Yojana per lakh population. So in 2018 it was 1737, and in just 4 or 5 years what we have seen that it is 13,195. So it has increased by 12 times. So this sector has grown a lot, and here so many people are taking benefit of Pradhan Mantri Jeevan Jyoti Bima Yojana. Then coming to the health sector, so here government is focusing and will focus on encourage cervical cancer vaccination for girls of 9 to 14 years, because cervical cancer is taking so much of lives, especially the women's. And also Saksham Anganwadi and Poshan 2.1 to be expedited for the improved nutrition delivery, because Anganwadi and Poshan 2.1 is very much important for the health of the women. And UWIN platform, which will promote the Indradhanush program, which is a vaccination program, and also health cover extended to the ASA workers, Anganwadi workers and others helpers. So what we have seen that these are the backbone of the primary health care of the India Health Center, and in such circumstances it's very important to take care of their health. So that's why we can see that health coverage has been given to the ASA worker, Anganwadi workers. So this is very much important that our workers and helpers should be healthy. Moving to the next direction, which is inclusive development. So this is earlier we had discussed about the health and especially the women health, ASHA workers, Anganwadi workers, postnatal care. And here we will discuss about the housing, because health, after health, the housing is much important for the inclusive development. And here we will discuss about the Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana, and they are going to achieve the target of 3 crore houses, additional 2 crores targeted for the next 5 years. And a housing for the middle classes is also designed, and they will be also taken care by the government of India. And then we can see that increase in the allocation of this particular scheme, which is Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana. So earlier estimate was 79,590. Right now it is 80,671. So this is a very minute increase. This needs more increase, and middle class should be also taken care of. Moving to the next, which is tourism. So state had earned a lot due to the tourism, and because of that we can see that its importance in G20, because during G20 the meetings held at 60 places in order to mark the tourist sector and tourism sector of India, and in order to show that how India is vibrant in tourism. So all these efforts taken by the government of India to showcase the world that we are so much rich by culture and heritage, and India is a tourist place where so many tourism can happen, and if tourists will visit to the India, the more benefit will India get. So in that direction, tourism sector is also blowing, and long-term interest-free loans to be provided to the states to encourage the development, because when we consider the states like Bihar and Uttar Pradesh, also the Assam, they are so much historically significant, but what we have seen that they are not developed for the tourists, just like Rajasthan and other states just like Punjab, Himachal Pradesh had developed. So we need to develop all these states into that direction so that we can earn money from all these states also. So this is the tourism sector of India. Moving to the next one, which is agriculture and food processing, because India is an agriculture based country and more than 60% of its population is dependent on the agriculture. So it's very important to discuss the agriculture sector. So government will promote private and public investment in post harvest activities. So till now what we have seen that most of the investment are public in nature, but right now government is also investing and also promoting private investment, and also the application of nano DAP to be expanded to all agroclimatic zones. Atmanirbhar oilseeds Abhiyan strategy to be formulated to achieve Atmanirbhar of oilseeds. So these are the areas where government is so much concerned, and these can generate so much revenue. And then also dairy development, because India is the largest producer of milk, and also India stood second, third into the meat production and so many animal laid production. So India had also focused onto this direction. And then we have this Pradhan Mantri Matsya Sampada Yojana, because India is also a country which is famous for the fisheries, and so many of its population, especially the coastal area population, is dependent on the fisheries. So it's very important to focus on the fisheries sector of the country also. So India will also set up 5 integrative aqua parks for the development of the fisheries. And then it comes to the blue revolution. As you all know that blue revolution is dedicated for the development of fisheries and also the aquaculture of the country. And in the financial year, the budget estimate was 20,025, and here we are talking about in the crore, and in the this we have this 23,052. So here is a very minute changes we can see, but this sector require more investment and more efforts by the government of India. Then coming to the increased allocation of PM formalization of micro food processing enterprises. So we have this 639 rupees crore, and right now we have this 880 crore. So this is also seen the very minute changes. So it's like a mirror for the government of India to look into all these sectors, and these numbers should be increased. Moving to the another, which is decline in CAD as percentage of GDP. So this is a difference between exports and import, and we can see that there is a decline. So in financial year 2023, it was the percentage was more than 2%, but right now it is less than 1% even. And also the gross national performing assets, so there is also decline. So it is 3.2, earlier it was 5.8, and decline in unemployment rate also. So this is a very positive signs, and from 2 years only we can see that from 4.1 it is 3.2. So the unemployment rate is declining at a very slow pace, but we have this very affirmative thing that it is declining and soon it will disappear. And then rising volume of digital transaction. So the digital transaction has rose especially after demonetization. So what we have seen that it has rose by more than 12,000 crore. So this is also a very positive aspect. But we have to take care into this direction that so many Indian population still do not use the digital transaction. So we have to be more focused towards the rural digital transaction, because in urban areas people have this technology, people have this awareness, so they can easily avail such services. But we have to expand these services to the rural areas among the uneducated people also. Moving to the next one. Next one is achievement of taxation reform. So direct tax collections more than tripled in last 10 years. Number of return files swelled to 2.4 times. So this is the achievement of government of India. Faster refunds, reduction in average processing, which is 93 days. to 10 days. So in 2013 and 4 it is 93 days, but right now we have only 10 days for the faster refunds. Average monthly gross GST collection has doubled, which is rupees 1.66 lakh crore, and benefit to consumer reduction in logistic cost and prices of the most goods and services. So because of the taxation reforms, what we have seen that we have got benefit from the logistic costs. So it's because of the achievement in taxation reforms. And then we have positive sentiments about GST. 94% of industry leaders view transition to GST as largely positive. And also we have decline in import release time from 2019 by. So 47% at inland container depots, 28% at air cargo complexes, and 27% at seaports. So what all these data shows that we are declining into import sector. It means that we are becoming Atmanirbhar and we don't have to dependent on other countries for few areas. So this is import data. Moving to the next one, which is continuity in taxation. So certain tax benefits to startups and investment made by the sovereign wealth funds, and the expiring date has been extended from 31/3/2024 to 31/3/2025. So it has been extended to 1 year. And then withdrawal of outstanding direct tax. So it is expected to benefit approx 1 crore taxpayers. So up to 25,000 pertaining up to the financial year 10. So it has become up to 10,000 for financial year 11 and 15. And then retention of same tax rate for direct and indirect taxes, including import duties, corporate taxes 22%, then existing domestic 15%, no tax liability 7 lakh under the new tax regime. So this is what we can see, that how taxation is helping us and how the government is extending the dates, and so that so many people can pay their taxes, and also the reduction date has been increased and people are getting refund very easily. So the government has done very positive into this direction. Moving to the next one, which is rupee comes from. So from where largest rupee comes from? So it is the borrowing and other liabilities. And from where the lowest rupee comes from? Non-debt capital receipts. So custom is 4%, GST and other taxes are 18%, income tax 19%, union excise duties 5%, and then corporation tax 17%. Then where rupee goes? So all the rupees, most rupees goes to the state's share taxes and duties. So this is also very much important for your prelims examination, and also the interest payments. So most of the rupees goes to the interest payments and state share through taxes and duties. And where the least goes? So the least goes to the subsidies and centrally sponsored schemes, which is 8%, and also to the 8% defense sector. So here is the data that where rupees comes from, and here is the data where rupees goes from. So moving to the next one, which is that which ministry has allocated what amount of the fund. So the highest number has been taken by the Ministry of Defense, because we have seen in the previous data that least amount of rupees goes to the Ministry of Defense. So here what we have seen that 6.2 lakh crore has been given to the Ministry of Defense. Ministry of Road and Transport Highways 2.78, Ministry of Railways 2.55, Ministry of Consumer Affairs 2.13, Home Affairs 2.3, Ministry of Rural Development 1.77, Ministry of Chemicals 1.68, and Ministry of Communication 1.37, Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers 1.27. So highest goes to the defense and the lowest goes to the Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare. This is not a good situation and good sign for a agriculture based country, because where the most of its population is dependent on the agriculture. In that scenario, government has to spend, and they had to budget estimate for the agriculture sector more than the other ministries. So in this area, government of India had to work, and they had to allocate more fund for the agriculture sector. Moving to the next one, which is on which schemes government has spent how much. So for MG Narega, we have seen that most of the funds goes to the MG Narega. So earlier it was 60,000, right now it has become 86,000, which is a very positive. Then Ayushman Bharat PMJAY. So Ayushman Bharat is dedicated for the health, And from health perspective, we have seen that 7,200 to 7,500. So this is also not a very good investment and good expenditure by the government of India. And then production linked incentive schemes. So it has a very positive change. So it has increased from 4,645 to 6,200, and then modified program for development of semiconductors. So 3,000 to 6,903 crore. So this is also a very positive that government of India is taking into this direction from NG-NREGA to the development of semiconductors and display manufacturing. Then coming to the solar power, because we are constantly talking about the solar power, and solar power is a need of an hour in order to maintain our climate change. So the budget estimate earlier was 4,970, but right now it is 8,500. So it has almost doubled, which is a very positive thing. And then National Green Hydrogen Mission. So it has also more than double, which is from 297 to 600. So this is also a very positive thing. Moving to the receipts and expenditure. So revenue receipts has increased. So it is 30, and then capital receipts has decreased, which is 17. And then here comes to the expenditure. So revenue expenditure has increased 36.5, and then effective capital expenditure, which is 15 point. So the capital expenditure here, it is a long term investment and it is a daily term investment. So this has increased and this has also increased. So and here it has decreased and here it has increased. So what we have invest money to acquire any asset, so that is called the capital receipts. And if anything we spend to get on the daily thing, which is called as the revenue receipts. And here the example is fine, grants. And similarly, we have this revenue expenditure and the effective capital expenditure. So that's it for today's budget session, and these are the highlights of the budget. I hope you like this session. And we have also this prelims question, practice question with prelims, and the question is, which of the following ministries allocated highest fund? And the first ministry is Ministry of Education, second is Ministry of Railways, third is Ministry of Road and Transport, and fourth is Ministry of Defense. So kindly answer in the comment section. I hope you like this session. If you have any queries related to this session, kindly ask in the comment section. And the static portion of the budget session has been already uploaded, and the lecture has been taken by the Lalit sir. So kindly do watch all that lecture also. If you have any static confusion and if you don't know any term related to budget, so we all have clarified in that particular session. So thanks for your time. Thanks for your patience.
For more informative content, like, share and subscribe, and do not forget to press the bell icon to get the notifications.